one of the questions I had when I heard that the Family Law Act was being amended to include references to family violence was, I wonder what they'll define it as. So I'll just run through some of the things with you, and I'm sorry because I'm going to have to read some of it because I don't know all of the words off by heart. But so the first thing is that when judges are determining matters that relate to both children spending time with each parent and when they're dividing property, is this idea of family violence and has it existed and what is the impact of that. So family violence is defined in the Act. So if you want to go and have a look, it's in there. But it means violent, threatening or other behaviour by a person that coerces or controls a member of the person's family or causes the family member to be fearful. So that's, it could be a lot of things, right? You don't know, what could be seen as family violence. But they've got some examples of what family violence is, but it's not limited to these. Okay, so these are just examples. So assault, so that's physical violence, sexual assault or other sexually abusive behaviour, stalking, repeated derogatory taunts, so, name calling, shaming, all of that sort of stuff. Intentionally damaging or destroying property. Now, remember that the Act also allows the court to treat animals as, property now. So, and some people have harmed children's pets or the other party's pets as a way of, perpetrating violence against them. So that's, this intentionally damaging or destroying property is, going to look at everything, not just physical items as well. Intentionally intentionally causing death or injury to an animal. So that is, incorporating that. And unreasonably denying the family member the financial autonomy that he or she would have otherwise had. So that's where someone controls the money. They say, no, your pay must go into this account, and they don't give them any cash, or they give them a limited amount of funds to, do the grocery shopping or get to work, something like that. Unreasonably withholding financial support needed to meet the reasonable living expenses of the family member or his or her child at a time when the family member is entirely or predominantly dependent on the person for financial support. So we've seen cases where the person who is in control of the money will give some money for shopping, say, for example, but not enough to shop, not enough to buy food that is nutritious and all of those things. They're only given a tiny budget to buy food for themselves. Sometimes it's, they're denying them medical treatment, won't allow them to, see doctors or specialists, things like that. They're just some examples of that. And the other one is preventing the family member from making or keeping connections with his or her family, friends or culture. That's a really common one. People say, no, you can't see your parents, or you can't see this person or that person. And unlawfully depriving the family member or any member of the family member's family his or her liberty. So that's, those people that are, sometimes you can go to work but you must come home. You can't go out anywhere else unless I give you permission. So there's just some of the examples that the Act has given us to guide us when we're thinking about family violence and how it impacts our clients. If you'd like to know how we can help you, please feel free to get in touch.